So I figured the last time I did a 500 subscriber special, it wasn't exactly proper because if you don't remember, it was me getting a win for the first time in game, but that went completely sideways and I lost horribly. So I thought I'd go ahead and do something else, which is a ranking for every single game mode in game. Now this definitely has every single mode in here. If there is nothing else, then I'll just rate it there, I guess. I'll probably edit it out there, or I'll just probably say it somewhere around the video, but I'll say it somewhere. But now I wanted to rank every single in-game game mode there is in order. So obviously first up, starting with red light green light, which is a very simple game mode unless it's hardcore, where it's a little too accurate. If you move almost once, or if you get pushed, you're dead. It's just like that. But in normal, you can move without any problems. It's not really that difficult of a game mode, if we're gonna be honest. It's a very simple one, and it doesn't really require that much skill unless maybe you're a medic or a doctor. But in hardcore, it requires more skill. I don't know why I'm talking about hardcore, but I guess it is part of the game. So for a simple game, I guess we can put it in here, I guess. Next up on the list, I believe, is Dalgona. Speaking of Dalgona, I heard that there's supposed to be a new game mode, which is the Pantaloon. I believe that's what it's called. I'm not exactly so sure what it's really called, but it's called something. And I believe that's supposed to come out around December or January. My best guess is going to be around January, but we don't know yet. I've barely seen any updates on it, to be honest, but I don't engage in the Discord server very much. So for Dalgona, all I'm gonna say is it's fine. I think it should be here as well. I just feel like maybe like red light green light, just like red light green light, they're both very repetitive game modes, but I feel like Dalgona gets a little too boring at some point, which is why I'm very excited to see the new Pantaloon update coming out soon. The next one is Lights Out. Now, Lights Out, I feel like it's quite alright. It depends upon which weapon you have, whether it's the fork or the bottle. I've heard that the fork does plenty more damage compared to the bottle, but the mechanics, I feel like the combat mechanics are quite alright. If I'm gonna be honest, they're way better than any other, just like in hide and seek. But the problem with hide and seek is that it's a knife, so obviously it would have a lot more damage, and they have to make it fun somehow. So for Lights Out, I guess I could put it here, because people do tend to spare you if you're doing nothing but chilling out on one of the beds. But sometimes that's a very rare occasion for someone to just straight up attack you and I guess push you off or something. Now the next one is between two of them, Tug of War and Hide and Seek. I'm gonna go with Tug of War first, since it's literally right there. So Tug of War, you know, I'm always wondering what I should pick, and Tug of War really annoys me because no matter how hard I try, I still fail and I still die. It's a rare occasion for me to win. Like Tug of War, it basically depends upon your teammate, and I feel like it barely depends upon you either, even no matter how much strength you put into it. It's a fun game, but the players ruin it themselves, so I'm gonna have to put it here. Now as for hide and seek, I hate hide and seek so much. I wish this was never even game mode to begin with, and let me tell you why. Most of the time I have been getting Seeker, and I hate Seeker. Seekers are the worst team in hide and seek. Hiders are superior. No matter what you tell me, no matter how many times you kill me, hiders are definitely 1,000 times better. But hiders also do have this stupid glitch where they have to go on top and find some usual locations where the exit usually spawns the most, and this is for hardcore as well. Hardcore absolutely ruined Seekers, and you know what's the worst thing? No one even picks, and if you try to swap with the hider, almost no one is even going to take it. It's like you're forced to take Seekers. Like there should be like a proper purpose for you to take Seekers, like maybe an objective, maybe a bounty. I'm not so sure, but there has to be, like, I feel like in-game should definitely put out a lot more reasons for you to pick out to pick Seeker. So I'm gonna put this over here as well. But yeah, I think this is a little better than tug of war, but at the same time, I'm more in between depending upon the player count. If the player count is high, then it's good. Then hide and seek is good, but if it's low, then tug of war is the perfect game mode for you. Now, next one is yet again two game modes where you have to pick in between, which is the jump rope and the glass bridge. Now, as of jump rope, it's usually quite dependent upon your ping, because like whenever you're laggy, you can't really do anything about it. But sometimes I'm actually able to get through a laggy stage as well. Like I've mastered the game a little too much to the point where I can get through its laggy stages, but only sometimes, not every single time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, which is really weird because I use the same methods over and over, jumping at the perfect timing, and for some reason it just doesn't work. But either way, let's just say my ping is fine. I'm putting it in A. I definitely like it a lot more. Next up is glass bridge. I don't even know why people like glass bridge in regular servers to begin with. I'm putting it in C because I do not like to aura farm at all, and I definitely do not like going fast as well, especially considering jumping gives me anxiety. Whenever I skip to the next tile, I just get anxiety that I'm just gonna fall off, which luckily somehow I have never even fallen off once in my life, unless it was through the wrong glass panel. That's the only way I've lost. Otherwise, I still don't like it regardless. I feel like jump rope is 1,000 times superior. But you know what, maybe I'm being a little harsh. I think I should, I think no, I screw it. I hate jump rope. No, I mean I hate glass bridge. And next up on the list, well, we're gonna go with Rebel first because in order to continue the games, there are like 2-3 stages there, or more like just 3 or 2 depending. Yeah, so Rebel, this has got to be my most favorite game mode ever. Always instructing people on how to survive the game mode as well, telling them to get behind, asking them to give you a bandage, telling them to fall back, giving them strategies. I feel like that's the most fun part about the game, about Rebel. And most of my wins are Rebel, by the way. I learned that in hardcore you can get your wins, you can have a higher chance of making Rebel happen, which is why I go to hardcore more and I get most of my wins there. However, the main reason I haven't been going nowadays is mainly because I had this objective where I had to dodge a seeker like 3 times. I'm talking about it like it's from Sunday, so I had this objective on Sunday. But if I don't have that objective, I have a simpler objective, then I am definitely going for Rebel. I'm definitely going for hardcore servers. So Rebel is my favorite ending by far. I feel like it's way more fun, and I feel like it's way more logical in-game lore, unless of course people are stupid. But I don't blame those that like continuing the game as well. I feel like it's only sometimes where it's fun, and then there's a rare occurrence for me where it's absolute trash, and I will explain why later. So let's just say from continuing game, let's just continue the game. Next up is Mingle. Mingle is very dependent now. I feel like it's a fun game, but the problem is the players there, they have the survival instincts of a potato. Like they will say rooms of 1, and for some reason they will get into your room, power hold you and snap your neck. Like it's just one room. Why can't you just hold on to some patience? Why bother imbalancing it? I wish that was never even the case to begin with, because like why do you even need to power hold people in rooms of 1? Like, but I'm mostly blaming the players, because they seem to ruin the game quite a lot. Otherwise, it's not too bad. I'm gonna put it over Lights Out as well. And now the next one is quite dependent. Let's just go with Dinner Party. Now Dinner Party occurs if you mess up Mingle, if everyone messes up in Mingle, from what it seems like. Now Dinner Party, I feel like, you know, whether it's good or not, I feel like it is the most filler game mode of all time. Like, it feels like a game mode that shouldn't even exist in the first place. Like, it's just put there for fun. Because I know in the original Squid Game series, it was only Gihan and Sang-woo who were fighting in Squid Game, but Sae-byuk was also supposed to be there, so there was supposed to be 3 players. So maybe they could have just maybe removed, they could have removed dinner party, and they could have just made it so that there would be two teams of offense and defense, just like there was in the series. And I don't know how they would make that work. They could have made that work somehow. They could have taken their time. Honestly, I don't mind, but I hope they do make this thing in the future that dinner party isn't exactly game mode, and instead it's just two teams of offense and defense, so all players get to have an actual chance to play it. So, but overall, I'm gonna put dinner party in B. And why I'm putting it over lights out, it's quite obvious. You can pick whatever weapon you're comfortable with, whether you're comfortable with the knife, the fork, or the bottle. My go-to is a knife, mainly because if you're in the zone, and the zone shrinks down to only around the table area, then you're absolutely screwed. You shouldn't be like using the fork to dash around, because then the fork could get you stuck in some places. Well, not like stuck, but I guess it'll give you a slight stun, which gives you a minor disadvantage. I wouldn't say it's too much of a disadvantage, but I won't say it's a good advantage either. Like, knife is way more superior, and I mean, yeah, lights out, you get to choose your own weapon as well, but it's only between two of them, which is fork and a bottle. Now, the last one is, well, not the last one, but its following game mode is Squid Game. Squid Game, it actually isn't too bad itself, but but I feel like, if I'm gonna be honest, the combat mechanics aren't always so polished. I feel like sometimes you get a little too much stun time, especially for hide and seek as well, because the seeker mechanics are absolutely horrible. That's why I put it in D, and that's why I put tug of war over hide and seek, to be honest. Is because hide and seek, no matter how many times I slice my knife, it's like the person is right there and I still can't hit them for some reason. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I can be right in front of them, right, or like 1 meter away from them, and it still won't work for some reason, which doesn't really make any sense at all. They really need to revamp hiders and seekers, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, do something about them. They really need to have some changes. So anyways, focusing back to the point, Squid Game. For Squid Game, I think I could put this one in A. Sometimes it's actually quite fun, but it also depends upon who you're fighting. Now, in my opinion, while I feel like people may not agree with this, but the rock idea was a big mistake, because no one actually even did that in the series. And I know that's going to sound a little hypocritical, because there's literally powers in the game, but I still feel like a damage buff isn't exactly necessary. Then for Sky Squid Game, there was a poll. Obviously, I don't even know why the show put the poll in the first place, to be honest, but at least the poll was actually there, and in-game made that a little accurate. Whereas Squid Game they didn't. I feel like it would have been a lot more fair for people to just fight hand on hand. And this is also going to sound very hypocritical, because I love getting the rocks and hitting people with them. So I guess there's that. Now, the last game mode, I'm not even gonna, you know what, it's Sky Squid Game. I hate it. It's going all the way there. Yes, I hate it more than hide and seek and more than tug of war. Now, here's why. The combat for it's just trash, if I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I'll be hitting someone who's yet again right in front of me or right beside me, and for some reason it still won't work. The hitbox is extremely tiny for some reason. And just recently, before recording this video, I was playing in game and I was on Sky Squid Game, where I knocked someone who would have been knocked down if he had only taken one step back. But no, for some reason he still survived, and for some reason, and obviously I got knocked off instead. I am honestly not a big fan of Sky Squid Game. This is why I always vote for Rebel, is because Sky Squid Game doesn't really have the best combat mechanics. They should really polish that, and especially for the triangle as well. The shapes, I feel like their sizes aren't too good itself. I feel like it's way too small. At least the square is fine. The triangle and the circle, however, are not. But the smallest one has got to be the triangle for sure. It's a little too cramped for something like that. which somewhat makes sense, but at the same time I don't like it. But it's mostly the combat mechanics which are really, which they aren't great at all. I'm just gonna put that out there. They're not that great. I don't like them. They could have been better, but they're not. At least to me, at least. I'm sure a lot of people are like Sky Squid Game and are a lot better than me at it. But this is what I'm gonna say. And if I'm gonna be honest, there's nothing I can do to change my mind about that. I just feel like every time I get hit once or twice, I just feel like, oh, okay, there we go, it's over. And if I'm gonna be honest, I really wish that even though this wouldn't make sense, that every time a round ends, a player would get like maybe 25% of their health back, so it would at least give them a fighting chance. I feel like that would be a lot more fair for them, especially those that are on red health. Otherwise, people will start treating them like a lunchbox. Now, I know that didn't happen in the series yet again, but I feel like that would be good, and I feel like that would be a little fair if you think about it. But yeah, anyways, that was it for my ranking of every single in-game game mode there is. Now, I don't know when the next update is gonna come out. I haven't really looked into their Discord server at all, so do not blame me for that. I'm just not interested in looking into their Discord server at all for some reason. I'm just waiting for the next update to come out. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed my ranking of these game modes, and I will see you all in the next video.